So the next question in my question based series, that's day 4 question. How do I restrict an IAM user to be allowed to deploy resources only in Mumbai region? So basically, we would want to restrict an IAM user to be allowed to deploy any resource using AWS service in certain region. Now, how do we do that? By default, all IAM user has got global access. An IAM user can deploy resources in any region. There is no restriction default. But if at all you would want that a user should be able to deploy resource only in certain region, you will have to add condition to your policy. Basically, the policy works on the principle, like it has got 4 element. PARC. P for principle, A for action, R for resource, C for condition. Now, when you're defining identity based policy, you don't have to define the principle, you just define action, resource, and a condition. Conditions are optional. But suppose if you're defining a resource based policy or an inline policy, you have to define principle also. So, all the 4 elements are defined for a resource based policy, that is principle, action, resource, and a condition. So once I restrict the user, once I add the condition, once the condition is satisfied, the permission is applicable to the user. Now let me walk you through the demo. So I have created a user, John, and I have already created an inline policy for John. So the policy name is EC2 Access Mumbai, and I have added the condition. So if you look at the condition key, condition says for any value string equal region, when the region is AP South 1. So if a region is AP South 1, only then this user, like the John, will be allowed to access EC2 service. Now how did I do that? So let me show you how to create an inline policy. So I select create inline policy. I'm selecting the service for which I would want to create, and let's say I go for all the actions, all the resources, and I'm adding the condition here. So to add the condition, I click on add condition key. I select the key. Now there are multiple keys available. We have a lot of keys under global condition key, which are same across all the services. And we have got service level condition key, which are specific to certain service. Now for EC2, these are the various service level condition key. Now for our requirement, we'll choose region, and I'll go for qualifier. Let's say for any value in request, string equal, and I specified AP South 1. Sorry, my bad. AP South 1, and then I go for add condition. So the condition is been added. Next, I have to provide the policy name, and then I'm done. So this is how I created the policy, inline policy, by adding condition to my policy. Now I have logged on with John, and let me check if John can deploy the resource, deploy the instance in Mumbai. So before that, I'll just go to some other region. Let's say I go to North California to check if John is allowed to deploy the instance in North California. And here you go, you can see there is an error, not authorized. Let me check with Mumbai. Let me go ahead with launch instance. Let me provide a name. I go for default settings and I click on launch instance, and it is allowed. So this is how the condition based policy works, and you can restrict the user to work with restrict the user by adding condition to your policy. Hope you find this information useful. So for more such content, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned until my next question. Keep learning.